Okay, so Jesse Spano is so excited, but Zach Morris is 50 years old now? Then how old are we? Saved by the Bell was a huge show. Obviously, still kind of sits as like this wonderful television program that had all these memories that you look back to. Obviously, hitting on the tougher issues, Jesse Spano, Elizabeth Berkley, I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so scared, and just a ton of different things. I'll talk about some of the things that I really enjoyed about Saved by the Bell, and even the fact that there was all these other shows that were also similar to Saved by the Bell. There was City Guys, there was Hang Time, there was California Dreams, but Saved by the Bell was really that show. And most of it was just a really fun show. They always had these really wonderful moments of like somebody was performing or becoming like a little musical group or a chorus or a performance, or Zach getting into this problem or that problem, fooling somebody. Zach was very conniving, and that's what made the show fun. But Mark Paul Gosselaar is 50 years old. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is that moment where you're like, time really flies, because you are like, well, geez, like I always had Saved by the Bell as like that memory. And now you're like, oh, Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach Morris on not only the series, which became more of Saved by the Bell, but even the original version with Miss Bliss. Remember that one with Miss Bliss and the other two actors? Where did they go? Whatever happened to them? And of course, Zach Morris as Mark Paul Gosselaar. He reprised the role a couple of times, and I think there was moments where it took a long time for him to get out of that typecast, where you wouldn't call him Mark Paul, you would call him Zach Morris. I think it took a long time, but I think he definitely has aged out of that finally. And he's had a lot of projects that specifically, I believe, didn't he do NYPD Blue? Yeah, I believe that was one that really helped him out. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people. You get typecast as this, people, sometimes the viewing audiences don't want to see you do anything else. So I think he has done a wonderful job with his career. That show, however, Saved by the Bell, has been a little bit of a challenge. Tiffany Amber Thiessen probably has done the best, I would say. But some of the cast members in and around that show, well, I guess Mario Lopez, but Mario Lopez didn't move into acting. He just took all of our TV hosting jobs. And I guess we got to be happy about that. Anyway, so I guess it is a 50-50 that some of the Saved by the Bell cast members had a harder time with their careers after the success of the show. And then, I guess Tiffany Amber Thiessen has done well. Mario Lopez, I don't think he is doing bad at all. And Mark Paul Gosselaar, I feel like he was the one that tried the most to reshift within his career, to have a new, to have fans fall in love with his new work, versus like just the Zach Morris character. Elizabeth Berkley, that's always the toughest one, because, Showgirls did not really do maybe what she thought it would do, or it definitely has a following. Like Showgirls definitely means a lot to a lot of people, but it just didn't do all the things maybe that it was intended. But I still think Elizabeth Berkley is such a talent, but that's neither here nor there. Just talking about Saved by the Bell, these wonderful moments. What are your moments from that show that you're like, I always think of this Saved by the Bell moment? Remember they brought in Tori at the end. And then of course it went into the new class and the this and the that and this reboot and that reboot. But the core of it was those early Mr. Belding buddy bands, Zach Morris saying, oh, we'll get the best doctors money could buy, with Kelly Kapowski and, an issue she had. Like I said, Zach and all his manipulation of what he was going to do and try to make a quick buck. It was a lot. And he really was the star of the show. Screech was his right-hand man, and it just was a really fun show. But yeah, it is really that eye-opening moment that you're like, the guy who played that character on a TV show that we were able to eat our cereal and say, this is comfort television of the time, Saved by the Bell. That actor Mark Paul Gosselaar is 50 years old. So there's not really much else to say, but like, whoa, 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 and wow. That time flies. Time flies when you have a wonderful TV show to watch, even in syndication and reruns and stuff of that nature. So yeah, shout out to career longevity for all the cast. Like I said, not everybody had this big strong career after. Everyone, certain cast members have had their challenges, but you know what? To stay in it, to stay with the ambition, is always a good thing. So yeah, 50-year-old Zach Morris. Who would have thought it would be something we would be talking about? But Mark Paul Gosselaar, a big 50th year celebration for him.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.